Alright guys, Matt Lemke here with Through Gamer Goggles, gamer-goggles.com. And today we are going to take a look at the Deck of Many Worlds from Paizo. First I have to thank them for sending me this. This is turning out to be quite an intriguing tool. When I first heard about the Deck of Many Worlds, I thought it was going to be this silly, gimmicky kind of thing, and this is actually a very, very good product for a time when you get together with your buddies or you're just talking around and you're like, hey, let's do a random adventure. You could do everything from creating a player character to an entire solar system with this deck. I haven't looked at for creating a character because it was kind of silly, and what it doesn't give you is all of your stats, but it gives you the basic concepts for random generation of a character, enough to role play in a night where you don't want to take the time to create characters and you just want to get into the flesh of genuinely role-playing and storytelling. So, every card, there's 100 cards in it, it's $19.99. Every card has a certain amount of artwork on it. We'll start with the back because that's where the planets are. Or maybe that's the front, I don't know. They're two-sided. So, everyone has a bar on the bottom for every planet that there is. Law, chaos, law versus chaos, good and evil, accord, magic, tech, religion, and then a description of the world. So this is a desert world with standard gravity, a normal atmosphere. The biomes are airborne, desert, mountain, plain, subterranean, and thermic. Expansive sod flats and scrublands make up much of the surface of this desert world, which is dotted with shallow and toxic saltwater springs. Then on the back, we have the sapient races will always be on the left-hand side. The card number is right in the middle, and there's 100 cards. Then the, I always want to call them the evil races, but the aggressive races are on the right-hand side, or the threats to the world. Then we have the status bar, and each of these icons basically is, consider it like a slide rule. If it points up, it's up towards the absence of neutrality, and down towards the absence of neutrality. So if you have a straight line or a dash, basically it's neutral when you line it up. And we'll go over that in a second and make it a little bit more clear. We have a plot hook and we have another randomizer. The randomizers are used to generate alien races, number of moons, and a few other things. So let's go ahead and build one world with at least one moon. And then we'll back up from there and we'll build a system. And I flipped over my cards, so now they're all mixed up, totally random all together. Alright, so the first thing you do is you grab a card at random and you flip it over, and we have a jungle world. Gravity standard, atmosphere is thick, biomes are airborne, aquatic, arboreal, forest, marsh, mountain, plain, subterranean. I have been building terrain all day. Intricate river systems feed this world's profusion of widely varied and red-tinted plant life. So I want you there. And then the next thing you do is you flip over or grab another card randomly to get the status bar. And our planet, you combine the first two here to get the alignment. Law and chaos, so it leans towards chaos with neutral. So it's a chaotic neutral world. The tech is high. Likely this planet's going to have things like spaceships, factories, manufacturing plants. The accord is high, which means that in this case the world probably has a one world government. Religion is neutral. It has little to no influence in politics. And then magic as a whole is low. And I'm going the wrong way. So let's do that again. So on this particular world, law and chaos, the first two here, good and evil, also get our alignment for the planet. Arrow down points towards chaos. Neutral, so we have chaotic neutral world with high tech. In this case, it probably means there's things like factories, manufacturing plants, cities, spaceships. The accord is pretty high, so that means there's probably a one world government or something down the lines of that. Religion has it's a dash for neutrality, so there's little to no influence from religion on this planet, and it has a low magic feel to it. Down here we have a randomizer of 2. We have the plot hook, which in this case is periodically teleported to a new solar system. So this planet jumps around the universe. And then we have a randomizer over here of 4. And then you grab your second card, which unlike the first card, you do not let the status bar show. We have the randomizer on it for 1. We have, okay, so this one here is, this plot hook is able to gradually drain sapient creatures of their life force, transforming them into undead versions of themselves. And we have another randomizer over here. So now what you do is you use the second card you drew to draw the sapient races. So your first card slides underneath like that. And our first sapient race is androids. So it's a jungle planet full of androids, and this is the most common race. Now our second one is going to be the Kasatha, which will be our second dominant race. And I'm going to zoom out a little bit because we're going to need a little bit more space on the other side. And then we draw the threats. Well, that's interesting. We have dragons on a jungle planet, along with a synapse worm. And I don't know if you can see it on your screen or not, but underneath the name of each of the races, it tells you where you can find them. So, for example, the dragon can be found in the Starfinder Alien Archive. The synapse worm can be found in Starfinder Adventure Path number 7. Then we have the swarm from the Alien Archive. And we have the K-Pin also from the Alien Archive. And that is basically how you create a world. This gives you government, technology, the basic alignment of the world, a couple of plot hooks. You can take your PCs there and play. Now, to create a moon, you would draw... I'm going to cheat. I'm going to just get one with... You would draw a card at random, but I'm not drawing a card at random. I'm looking for a randomizer of 2. So I drew card number 36, which has a randomizer of 2. And now what you'll do is you'll draw 2 cards at random from the deck. And I'm going to zoom out a little bit more. So 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. Since this one's already flipped over, I'm going to use it as a lava world. And then I'm going to go like this with card 93 and slide it under. You follow the same step here. Boom. Except that you only get 1 card for a plot hook. So this lava world has a plot hook of replete with cathedrals or other monuments dedicated to every known religion and some as yet unknown. That's very interesting to me on a lava world. And then the other moon, we'll flip over this one. It's a gas giant. It's menaced by spectral and corporal threats that attack only at night. The tech is neutral. Religion is really high on this planet. Magic is low. The accord is neutral. And the alignment is true neutral, it looks like. Whereas on this moon, you have neutral good, low magic, high tech, low religion. Religion has left the planet that's covered in religious icons. And a neutral accord, so there's a lot of governments. Now, you could also, if you wanted, generate 5 sapient species for the lava world and 2 threats. We're not going to do that at this point. We're going to go ahead and draw another card and create a settlement. So to create a settlement, you draw the card and you compare. I'm just going to pick this up for ease. You compare this status bar to the status bar of the main home world to gather conflicts or interesting storytelling points. For example, for good and evil, law and chaos, we have an arrow up and an arrow down, which actually indicates chaotic good, while the main world is chaotic neutral. So how does that present a conflict within your story? We have a low-tech society in a high-tech world. We have a neutral accord within this settlement in a high accord world. Religion is the same, and we have a high magic settlement in a low magic world. Those are cats. And that's how you would generate your settlement. So now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the cards that I'm not using for this homeworld. I'm going to keep this homeworld here as a reference. And I'm going to show you how to create an entire system. And the way you create an entire system is you draw 2 cards. So, in order to generate your system, what you do is you add up all the randomizers. So we have 2, 4, 5, 8. So this would have, in addition to the planet we already created, 7 more planets like this, plus any moons, plus any settlements you would like to create. Now there's only one thing that I haven't done with this, and that's create a player character or an NPC. And the way you do that is you basically just get inspiration by drawing a card at random. You choose one of the world. So Starfinder role-playing. First, use the deck normally to create a homeworld for your character, which I already did. Choose one of the sapient species of your character's for your character's race. Alternatively, you draw another card and use its sapient species. Then combine the card's key attribute with the homeworld's key attribute bar and use the results for your ideas. So I could use one of these, draw a card, and use this status bar. Or alternatively, I can draw another card and just use that sapient species and combine the cards with the world's attribute bar. So let's say I drew a card. I have a Riforian from the Alien Archive who is lawful good, doesn't really like technology that much. He doesn't really like so, and then you would use you would create your alignment that way. My bad. And then you would use the tech, accord, and tech, religion, and magic bars to pick your class. So in this case, I am of low religion, so I definitely don't want to be a priest. And then I have either neutral or neutral tech and magic, so he could be just about anything except something priest-like. And I have low accord, so I don't really get along with other people. And you can do the exact same thing for NPCs. I really, really enjoy this system. It's really easy. I mean, there's 100 cards, right? So if you have 100 cards and you use a minimum of 3 to build your world every time, I'm not good at math this way, but I mean, if you do You know, if you draw a world different every time, and then you have out of 1 in 100 or 1 in 99 chance for this card, and then 1 in 98 chance for that card, the amount of worlds that you can build and create using this system is pretty much, I mean, it's not infinite, but it's seemingly endless. I have no idea how long it would take me to do an entire series on every possible combination. I mean, that's nuts. That is just nuts. The amount of variety you can get out of this. So just this one world, I know that I can create a minimum of 2 different major types of PCs. I have a quest to go kill a dragon. I have a settlement that can use one of these plot hooks. I forgot to do that part with you. So if you, in the settlements, the Accord, I think it was the Accord. Yes. A high Accord means that you use the plot hook for the first card here, and a low Accord would mean that you use the second plot hook. So if I drew a card that had a Accord pointing down for this, I would have a settlement in this planet that actually makes undead people. So there's a plot hook there. I mean, it is just crazy how good this system works. It takes a little bit of getting used to playing with it. The bigger it gets, the more complicated it gets to explain. But you play through it once or twice and you have a solid thing. I am actually ready to make my own game world with this, and maybe I will, not game world system with this, maybe I'll document it. I am creating my own fantasy game world, but I believe I'm going to use this to create the solar system of my game world. So anyway, guys, I am super thrilled about this. I don't play enough Starfinder, but I play enough Pathfinder that I can find uses for this even in Pathfinder. Thanks, and have a great day. If you are a homebrew kind of guy and you like to do some things on the fly, this is a great way to get your mental creative juices flowing. Bye-bye. Hi, guys. Meet the Nibbles, who's gonna go down. She just decided not to go down my back, so we'll do this for her so she's comfy. Thanks for watching my video, and I appreciate it. Please hit the like button and share it if you know somebody who might be interested. And of course, there's always Twitter and the Facebook thingy, and soon I have a newsletter coming. That'll be down there or in a link below, and my kitty cat loves that idea. So anyway, there was one more thing. Oh yeah, subscribe. Be a part of my community, our community. Let's make it grow together. See you guys at a con somewhere, or a local store, or if I'm driving through the country, maybe a game club. I don't know, you're not going to go knock down my camera. Bye, guys.